Hello, friends. It's Julian from BD Cosmos, and we're back. We're going to review the DC Connect from March 2022 for books soliciting on sale for theoretically May 2022. So, quick recap. My name is Julian. I am a owner of a comic book store in the northern part of Montreal. It's a small island called Laval. And so I've been into comic books pretty much my whole life since I was a child, and I'm a store owner. And so this is like my review, my perspective as a retailer of how I perceive these catalogs. So I go for them. We'll skip through a couple of things real quickly, and we'll go through more in depth in others. And we'll just look at what's interesting to read, what's maybe worth speculating on, or maybe number ones with or first comic book character appearances. We'll see through it. So in this DC Connect, which is the number 22 issue, we're talking. They're promoting the return of Blood Syndicate and Duo from Greg Pak. So Blood Syndicate was I believe it's a team title from Milestones, which is, as you mentioned, the most requested is like a lot of things from Milestones have returned, but Blood Syndicate hadn't. And then Duo, I'm not really sure about Duo. I love Greg Pak. I think he's a fantastic writer. Love this run on Hulk, Incredible Hulk. So yeah, really quick, what's inside? Blah blah blah. Nobody really cares. And we go straight into Shadow War Part 5. So the previous Connect, we were already in Shadow War. We had the Alpha, and then we had the first three parts, which was Batman, Robin, and Deathstroke. So in this one, we should have Batman, Deathstroke, and Robin. So all 7 parts right into the Omega issue. So within 2 months, you have a pretty elaborate storyline that Williamson has been written. And so I have personally for our store, we have a lot of people who read Batman and Robin separately, and then we have a few people who read Deathstroke, but I'm not sure if any of one of my readers reads all 3 at the same time. So obviously, they're going to request for us to fill in the gaps for them. So that is something that I have to make sure that is possible and that we order subsequently. Also, particularly this variant cover from the main cover is John Boy Mayer is interesting. So it's a Derek Chu. Yeah, the Derek Chu has a very specific style on the variant covers. We see them fairly often on the Harley Quinn covers. So really cool Derek Chu cover. That's Ravage or Ravager, Ravage no. And so it's a 2-month affair, pretty quick, and I kind of appreciate that. Force people to read all 3 titles for 2 months, and then move on to something else. They also have a War Zone, which usually one-shot issues that fill up more gaps of the storyline. Black Canary, Luke Fox, Tahalia, Ghostmakers here. Now, what's interesting in particular is this 1 in 50 cover is kind of risque from a modern DC kind of book. So this is kind of surprising, especially for like a War Zone, like a one-shot issue that fills in gaps. This is a 1 in 50. It's asking us a lot to pick up 50 copies of this one book. The variant cover, though, now this is a homage to, everybody knows what this is a homage to, which X-Men title it's a homage to. So it's really cool, and I think a lot of people will just be like ordering this specific cover, not without needing anything else. So I guess maybe that's it. Their thought process is like everyone's gonna pick up the variant cover, which they're charging, holy moly. All covers, so it's $6 USD, so it's $7.50 Canadian for all copies, and so their expectations of a lot of people are going to pick up this variant, so I might as well go all in for this 1 in 50. And Lyrics Lee is the cover. Lyrics, I've seen him do a lot of work over at Dynamite, a lot of great covers actually. So I'm not sure if this is his first DC book, but hey, yeah, it's a beautiful cover. Moving on, new maxi series from Batman. It's a Gary Whitta. Derek Robertson is doing the arts. Last time we've seen him as Legend of the Dark Knight, so now he's on this series, Batman Fortress. Earth is being invaded by aliens. Batman's out to save him. So It's not a super original concept. Not really sure why they needed that when we actually have like alien species all the time. Where you look at Action Comics and Superman. So, well, Son of Kal Superman. So it's kind of odd, but maybe it's its own mini universe. It's entirely possible. It could be an Elseworlds book to begin, frank. So I'm very curious to see who is going to win the sub to this. I'm going to take orders before seeing how deep we want to go in. And it's a $3.99 book. That's really cool. I always appreciate $3.99ers for number ones for people to try without having to spend brick bank. What's next? The annual. So we've already have the 2022 annual here. They've already done the Justice League one, if I'm not mistaken. And like last year, we had the 2020. No, so the 2022 annuals, but last year we had 2021 annuals, like at the end of the year. Basically, it's like, oh, we forgot about these. We had to run to get them out in like throughout December mostly. And so now they're like starting the year with annuals. It's just kind of surprising. It's also a drain on everyone's budget to hit us twice within less than 6 months. A couple annuals that are 6 USD. But often enough, the annuals are kind of fairly important to fill in gaps of the main storyline, or whenever they feel like it having an event within the annuals themselves, which is something that both DC and Marvel have done for decades now. One Dark Knight. I don't have much to say about this, honestly. This undersold very huge. Very few people ordered. I was very tight on numbers. So maybe, honestly, this to me is maybe the trade will do well. We'll see. Flashpoint Beyond. More people picked up Flashpoint Beyond. Well, people didn't know. How do I say this? People picked up Flashpoint Beyond, added their subscriptions. Hopefully, not more than I expect. No. I was expecting a lot more, but I'm surprised at the number of people who have. And it's from people that have surprised me, actually. That's the most important part. So we've got, we had 0 and 1 last month, so we've got 1, 2, 2, 3, and 4 already this month, because it's the fourth number. They're kind of cheating because they're putting it on May 31st, but we'll release them on June 1st. So that's how they're forcing this in the same connect, because it's technically May under Tuesday release dates, but we are sticking with Wednesdays here. It's just much easier. We're prepping the comic books all day on Tuesdays. That releasing half the books one day, it's too much trouble for us. Fastest Man Alive, fairly indifferent to this as well. It's based on the movie, if I'm not mistaken. Here's another annual, Action 2022 annual. This also fills in the gap for the Warworld story. It is origin of the new Mongol, which in the Mongol has been really awesome, honestly. It's one of the better villains that I've had to read from Superman. And I'm not a huge Superman fan, but I have been reading the Warworld story mostly because of the Grant Morrison Superman the Authority, which is what it's not loosely based, basically. It's as close as it can get. It's loosely based. But I don't know. I like the characters and moving on to this. So that's it. Here's something that's pretty interesting. So Aquaman Andromeda is the first, well, as far as I can tell, the first Black Label book that is not a Batman book. So who's writing this? Oh, Ram V. Oh, sorry about that. So Ram V doing all the things. He's got Batman. He's got Venom, Carnage coming up, and so now Aquaman, Black Label. So Many of the Death Cecilia started really well for us from Boom. Honestly, like really, really, really well. And so that's a 3-parter. That's cool. Variant by Brian Hitch, sure. Art and cover art by Christian Ward. So you can tell from here. And then we've got into interior art. I'm not a huge fan of Aquaman, but we have more people who are subbing Aquaman titles, so that makes me very happy. Be able to sell more non-Batman titles. So hopefully this does really well for DC, so they can make more non-Batman titles. What is this? Oh, Earth Prime. Earth Prime books. If you were a CW first fan, first you go for it. But I'm again pretty indifferent to this. Stargirl. Also, oh wow, I'm not downplaying this. I'm not being completely down on this Connect. Honestly, it's just that these are concepts that are like mean nothing to me. So Jurassic League is just like it's just Justice League, but they're all dinosaurs. It's different. It's a good pitch. It's just not for me. So I am not going to heavily promote this, but I am curious to see who will read it. Like if there are like 200 people are willing to read this, well, then obviously I'm going to order those 200 copies. But I'm very curious to see who wants this. Interior art. That's actually a cool Batman lizard. Anyways. Nubia Coronation Special. So I guess this is like after the Nubia miniseries. I'm not sure. Is that already over? After events of Trial and Amazon, so right after Trial and Amazon was also a 2-month event. Queen Nubia, champion of the three tribes. The 3 tribes, sorry. For me, Nubia did not sell. I think 1 person was interested. Maybe 2. See, this is cool to me. DC versus Vampires. So the main storyline from Tinian sells pretty well. And then this Hunter one-shot. It's just the cover itself is really amazing. Who's doing the cover? Mayers, yeah. This guy is, I felt it was him, but I didn't want to commit to saying it was John Boy Mayers. But hey, yeah, clearly. His style is pretty recognizable. Oh, no. The team variant covers are always super frustrating, personally. 250 count without that you have to sell a double cover just to make a little bit of money. It's sure it gets you to incentives, but All right, Tom King fans, unite! He's got a new story, a new series, Danger Street. Also, George Fornes, who's doing the arts, so can't be wrong. Once Upon a Time in a Far Off Kingdom, Book 1. Alright, that's interesting, just like this part here. Joining Justice League is a goal of any superhero, but what happens when a quest membership takes a sinister turn? Okay. This could be decent. I'm not the biggest Tom King fan, but I can definitely respect the people who enjoy him. This could be cool. So the Blend Syndicate that we discussed. I don't sell really well milestones. Not that I'm against it. I would love to sell more. Hell, I'd love to sell more comic books, right? But it's just indifference. It's just based on my own clientele, and if there are more people who are interested, I'd be selling more books. Same thing here. I mentioned. See, they're telling us right here in the catalog. New characters, Dr. Kelly Vu and Dr. David Kim, who together make up a single superheroic duo. Oh, duo. Okay. Well, that's kind of cool. When Milestone returned, original Hudling and Dennis Cohn were planning to stop there. Now they welcome you a whole new realm of the original characters, extended far beyond Dakota. Welcome to Earth M. Oh, Earth Milestone. That's kind of cool. Maybe this will go somewhere. I wish for it, honestly, I do. That's cool. Maybe we're speculating on. Static hardcover, I would assume. Yeah, hardcover edition. Static is, I think, my best-selling Milestone title. I think so. It's probably the case elsewhere as well. Especially if they're making a hardcover edition. Okay. Probably the most important thing of this entire Connect for very majority of people, the road to Dark Crisis. So Dark Crisis is the new mega event from DC. It's got to be a crisis, right? And I think, now correct me if I'm wrong, but the last Crisis was Infinite Crisis? I feel like I'm wrong there. There's got to be another crisis since then. In any event, I like that Williamson is being told, all right, fix 5G and what we did with the reboot of, or after Infinite Destinies. No, Infinite Frontiers. So that's the goal. Fix Future State with 5G, with Infinite Frontier into one coherent story as much as you possibly can, and with the Dark Multiverse on top, with metal and death metal. I think it's kind of cool, and I give him props. I hope he does it really well. And this is specific to Justice League, so it is for the follow-up to Justice League 75, which is the final issue of the current Justice League volume. And then this is, for any retailer, the most important part, the free comic book day edition. So this will cost retailers 30 cents USD, so about 35 cents, 39 cents CAD. So we invest, we give you this book, and we hope, like, do you want to read Dark Crisis? So that one comes out on the 5/31st, so 5/04, oh, 5/7. This is after Free Comic Book Day. Why would they release a book after Free Comic Book Day? Very, very, very weird. Do not understand. You know. Anyways. So the more Free Comic Book Day stuff, Galaxy PCR. This is like, it's like, well, it is the graphic novel. The full book is a graphic novel, but this is a preview of it. So place in your orders. And then same thing for League of Super Pets. Free Comic Book Day stuff. This is a cool Zatanna cover, and it's a graphic novel, softcover graphic novel, Jewel of the Gravestone. So yeah. We have some fans for this genre, but not huge amounts. So, I'm happy to supply. How about that? Interior art, guys, kind of nice, honestly. And it's Zatanna. She always does well. So, let's promote Black Adam, because he's got a movie. So, a bunch of Black Adam stuff. Reprints of material. Resident Fall of an Empire. And this is, what is this on sale? Oh no, this is all stuff that's coming out in June. Interesting. June. Alright. So a bunch of Black Adam stuff. Batman 89 hardcover edition. Sure. More excited for Detective Comics Volume 2 Fear State. Always excited for Mariko Tamaki. Also, we've got more Tinian here. Is back. The Sandman Universe. Nightmare Country. Issue 2. A lot of people ordered issue 1 way more than I expected to, because honestly, we've always had the one guy who reads the Sandman Universe stuff for like years, and so everyone's like, oh yeah, the Tinian bandwagon, let's see what he's got. And so yeah, let's see how long that'll last, right? Oh, this is really cool too. So Fables returns with its original numbering. It is not volume 2. It's just like Saga, where they're just continuing straight with the previous numbering. So it ended 150. We're back at 151. They're even telling us right here, new character, Green Jack. He's the one on the cover right there. So I think this is awesome. Bill Willingham continues what he's so good at. I don't know how many people used to read Fables at my store. I have an inkling of an idea for one person, but I don't know who else. So I'm excited to see who else is going to jump back into Fables. I had brought back in the collected editions as they were being printed. I'm down to, I have nothing except the latest one, the Volume 4, so I have to actually restock that. This is great art. Yeah. And then we're doing the rapid fire stuff, the regular stuff, so Action Comics, Aquaman, Batgirls. Batgirls going up and down. Batgirls, honestly. So I've drastically reduced my number of copies, but people have finally added to their account at issue 3. It was very frustrating. So I was short issue 3s. So now we're talking about issue 6. Neo Year. It's kind of cool. Batman. Anything White Knight. Anything Sean Murphy. I overordered this 3 to 4x what people have pre-order themselves because I know I'm just going to have back issues. The last two White Knight series have done really well in back issues, so yeah, over-ordering, no problem. Same thing for Big Batman Killing Time, over-ordering just because the Batman Catwoman does super well in back issues. Batman the Knight, a lot of people ask me after the fact, oh, hey, do you have issue 2? It's like, no, we don't have issue 2. So it's very frustrating. So Batman the Knight. Urban Legends, still here. This does. It's not my. It's up and down. So there are like crazes for people. It's like, oh, I need this because they're like first appearance or whatnot, and then it just dies completely. So it's kind of frustrating series to handle. Batman Superman World's Finest. I think I actually do have more pulls for World's Finest than I did original, previous Batman Superman. All right, let's talk about this Catwoman. The Free Zone cover is always a fantastic little cover. Plus, it's negative space, so that's really cool. This main cover with Catwoman and Harley is kind of different from the Cal. He does, it's curly. It makes his women a little bit more thicker on the thick side. But the Sozomeka. Not all. So the first cover he did for 39 blew through the roof. I'm not a fan of 40 or 41, if I'm not mistaken. It's either 41 or 42. One of those two issues, I'm like, But this 43 in particular, this party variant is pretty cool. I don't think it'll explode like the other ones have, but it's a really great cover. Detective 1060, sure. Future State Gotham. Anything, new story art for for Detective. This cover here is pretty cool. Simone Di Mio. Detective is about Riddler. Harley Quinn has Batwoman. Those are the Derek Chu covers I was talking about. I'm Batman also has picked up. The previous series that Ridley had written for Batman, I'm Batman, was Future State Batman, and then so he did Future State, and then the one in between, that one did really poorly. But I Am Batman, like Black Batman New York, way more than I expected, so I'm really happy about that. Just Legion of Superheroes, like I love Bendis, but it's indifferent. I don't order Looney Tunes. I have one person on Mad. I have two people on Monkey Prince. So they're not really well selling on the secondary market right now. So maybe back issues in the future. It is like in how many issue miniseries? 8, I think. It doesn't mention. Naomi season 2. It's a number 3, but it doesn't seem like there's going to be like a big reveal in this book. So I've ordered a fair amount of 1 and 2. We'll see what happens once 1 comes out to see if a lot of people will pick it up so I can order 3s. Nightwing 92, I at least order 1 for our eBay store and 1 as a back issue for the store for Nightwing. It does well. Nothing special, but it's Tom Taylor and is really good, and it's good to promote the book. One Star Squadron dropped the title Rogues. I don't recall how many people are on Rogues, to be honest. It feels like just yesterday that the solicitation was up, but it was 2 months ago. Suicide Squad 15, Superman Son of Kal-El. Suicide Squad doesn't do well for our store at all. So I have like the people who are dedicated to Suicide Squad and I get it for them. But I don't feel the need for back issues for that. Whereas Superman Son of Kal-El, great on our eBay store, very terrible in store. I've actually had some closed-minded parents who are like iffy on the title, and it was like, but it's, get with the program. The lives change. It's time to modernize ourselves. But the book sells well, and again, it's Tom Taylor. I personally do not like Swamp Thing, but I also don't like Man Thing. So Green Hell, I think I have 1 person who reads this, even though it's Jeff Lemire. Maybe 2. Task Force Z as well. I was super hyped that Task Force Z went nowhere. Teen Titans Academy 15. So 12 just came out and that exploded. Yeah, well, actually, number 1 exploded. It's not 14. It's not 12 that exploded. It's number 1 because he finally revealed who it was. I'm like, all right, guys. Flash 72. This is a cool cover. I'll give it to this. This is a really cool cover. Nice House on a Lake. Always happy to sell this. This, again, will be a book that will always sell back issues for. Less so... You know what? I don't know. Will we sell less of the early issues, or will we sell more of the... less of the late issues? That's what I wonder. Swamp Thing. Again, same thing. Wonder Woman 77. We have our diehards, but we have a lot less people who care about this Evolution line. And then World of Krypton. I have a particular issue with this cover. So Yan, because, well, I know this is the Supergirl's new costume that she had out of Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. It feels, I mean, it's just there. It could be a sash right there, and bang, you've got Captain Marvel. It looks like Carol Danvers. Tell me I'm wrong that it doesn't look like Carol Danvers. So that's kind of cool. Reprint of the 52 Omnibus. So 52 issues in 52 weeks. I remember when that was going. That was a thing. I don't care for absolute editions. I don't feel they sell well. I don't think they read well. I don't think anyone cares for them. Yeah. Adventure Continuous is a softcover edition. Yeah, so that's cool. These are trades that people are always happy to keep in stock. The Court of Owl... I think, it's a soft cover edition. That's kind of sad. But the masks are always cool. So just like the V for Vendetta masks, these are cool to have. Tom King Deluxe Edition. So this is... It feels like the Deluxe Book 6 is probably the end of his run. My belief. Because it has City of Bane, which still goes up to issue 85. Yeah, issue 85. So Deluxe Edition Book 6 completes his run of Tom King. On regular Batman and not necessarily Batman Catwoman. Birds of Prey Whitewater. So I was looking at this and I'm like, why is Catman here? And they're like, oh no, this was a tie-in with Secret Six. Like, oh, this is kind of cool. And in 200 pages for $20, it's pretty decent. 208. Okay, so I may get this for myself, even though I have 100% read the Secret Six tie-ins. I may not have read the Birds of Prey ones. Kind of curious. I'm a big fan of Checkmate, but the previous iteration of it, the latest version from Bendis, honestly, did not sell for me at all. So I'm not going to order any trades unless someone specifically tells me, oh, they want it. Now, 10 people tell me they want the trade, then obviously I need to stock the trade. But if only we sold the single issue to a single person, we'll see, right? Green Lantern Volume 2, sure. Justice League Dark. Okay, I was talking about Ram V. So Ram V was doing this side story in Justice League, which was the Bendis series. And then they're doing a trade paperback of these side stories. So that's pretty cool. I think it's really awesome giving people the opportunity to pick that up. Justice League Infinity trade. Last Ride. Chip Zdarsky sold really well, as always. Nightwing Fear State. Superman, the new Superman Golden Age Omnibus. I don't keep them in stock, but I do special order them for people. Tales of Dark Multiverse 2, the softcover edition. I still have the hardcover editions in store. So, yeah, but they're probably going to be... they'll go out of print, so the hardcover editions will gain value. Flash 16. It's crazy to me that we're on volume 16 of The Flash. And boy howdy, that was pretty fast. Still a half an hour of material. So that's it. Nothing extremely exciting. Other than their Dark Crisis. Dark Crisis, to me, is the keyness of this Connect. I'm trying to get to it. Nerf Prime. Getting to it. Alright, so Justice League Dark Crisis, Road to Dark Crisis, and then the Free Comic Book Day issue. That, to me, is the most important part of this Connect. That is what will be able to sell books for the next 6 months after that of the Crisis event itself. I'm hoping a lot of people will be picking up, and to help our customers pick that up, we'll be supplying them with the Free Comic Book Day issue. So a lot of our polls have given us a list of Free Comic Book Day books they were interested in, and so all of our DC polls, don't worry, we will hook you up with this one shot, this Free Comic Book Day book that comes out after Free Comic Book Day, to help you decide if you want to be reading Dark Crisis, and you should be. So that's what I'm really excited for in this particular month. It's a Free Comic Book Day book. It's kind of cool that a Free Comic Book Day book is the most important thing. So that's it for me. If there was a book you felt was way more interesting, feel free to let me know down below in the comments, or if there was a story that you think that we missed out on, or we should be ordering more on. Otherwise, feel free to share this video to other friends of yours who are interested in knowing more how a retailer thinks on a comic book scale for their particular store. Obviously, it's always case by case. There are stores out there who might be selling tons and tons of Mad magazines or Scooby-Doo books. It's just not our case, right? Otherwise, feel free to let us know down below if you feel differently about this Connect than we did. Thank you so much, and as always, we will see you very soon with more material from us over at BD Cosmos. And as always, keep reading.